Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our chat at the bar here at Formnext 2019. And as you know, our little format already, we do this at the end of the exhibition day. And today we're here at Renishaw, and I have two guests who will share a beer and a little chat with me. It is first, welcome Rainer Lotz from Renishaw. Thank you thank you for having us here.
My pleasure.
And welcome Dr. Kartik Rao from Oerlikon.
Good evening.
Good evening. And I see it already in the background. There are some nice fresh beers in preparation. That is nice. That's great. Thank you so much. Very kind.
Thank you very much.
Before we start chatting, we start drinking. So,
Prost.
cheers.
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 Cheers. Wow. That's what I was waiting for the entire day. So we will have a little chat about how was your day? How was your Formnext day today? And I see it in your faces. It must have been a nice one, right? Because you have good mood. Was it a good exhibition day?
It was a very good exhibition day, and if I think only how many nationalities we could welcome today here at our booth, it was enormous dynamic, and we had very, very good discussions.
And it's not only because your booth is so perfectly located here in Hall 11, but it is huge. You have a huge booth here, and you had a lot of people during the entire day. I saw that already. It was crowded, absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah. Whereas in general, the show is very busy, and it's amazing if you think that the halls had doubled compared to last year, and still all the aisles, everything is very busy. I think it's the same at your booth, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's been non-stop at our booth, so it's been terrific business actually. So it's good to see that the show becomes more and more international, as you're saying. Yep. So you know, although this is clearly located in Germany, we see people from Japan, from China, from India, Singapore. So it's very interesting. It's been great for us.
Talking about international audience. We truly have an international show, for sure. And how do you judge the fact that Formnext is happening in Germany? Is that by lucky chance, or do you think that additive manufacturing is perfectly located here in Germany? Is this the center of the additive manufacturing world?
It's not by chance at all. So you know, if we look at the majority of the machine manufacturers and where this technology started to develop, you know, Germany is a natural home. And specifically southern Germany as well, right? So it's located around here. It's now become a global industry, no question. But you know, this is the genesis. So and it's nice to see that at the same time every year people come back. And you know, now we really start to feel a community, a global community. You know, in the evenings people get together and they're reintroducing themselves. So it's nice to see that the technology and the industry is maturing in that way.
And it's only the 5th year that Formnext is
True,
taking
yeah.
place. And most of the people who are participating here have really made it from the really beginning of it all. So how do you judge this? This is, yeah.
Look at that. You know,
fifth time.
Fifth time
yeah.
here.
From the very beginning. So how do you judge this community? Is it becoming more mature, or is it still this start-up feeling that you had in the very beginning of the show?
No, there is a change. You can tell a change, and a lot of the approaches, they're far more professional today. You know, before it was a community and it was based on many good ideas. Obviously, in Germany there is a long history with additive manufacturing. But you know, there was a lot of ideas and vision. But today, if you look at it, it arrived on the shop floor. It arrived in the true industry, and you can tell when you look at those companies. They've been here for 5 years. How they changed, you know, in what kind of solutions they show, and also what kind of processes are established in the meantime. I wouldn't have thought 5 years ago we will get there in this short time.
And has it become a little bit more boring? Was it more exciting in the very beginning, or do you think it is still exciting today?
Well, so this is interesting, right? So earlier this year I was in China for you know, one of their largest trade shows there on additive manufacturing. And you see a younger generation dressed in jeans, trainers, sneakers, and it's very much focused on the consumer market. And what you see here in Germany is just clearly industrial. And it's being productionized. So yes, people are walking around in suits and ties.
Like we do today.
Yeah,
we try to disguise a little bit.
We still have fun, no?
That's true. That's true. At least we're trying to. So, but What do you like better? Is it the blue jeans style, which does support this additive manufacturing market better, or what do you prefer?
I prefer what I see here at Formnext. So this is being transformed into a mainstream manufacturing technology. This isn't someone in their garage or their study making a small plastic model. This is people using it for series parts, which are ending up in critical applications. And if I look around the show, it's clear the wide range of industries that are taking part here.
Talking about serious applications and serious parts, or serial and serious parts, you are working for the automotive industry. Your customers are really amongst the most demanding customers one could have overall, quality-wise. And you started to introduce this technology with these customers. What is the result? Do your customers, the OEMs of the automotive industry, accept these products already completely, or do they still have some kind of hesitation?
I'd say that there is broad acceptance of additive manufacturing for prototyping, no question. In the automotive industry, that is a norm now. So when we look at the major automotive majors in the US and in Europe, and if I'd say Europe, they're probably a little bit further ahead on adopting this technology for prototyping. We see acceptance. Where it comes difficult is on serious production parts. I'd say here, the automotive industry is more cost sensitive than most, so it's taken a little bit longer.
And maybe you shouldn't try to enter a big serious production because there the price war is heavily running, and especially in the automotive industry, right? So maybe you can stay out of this battle.
Yeah, so I think the opportunities are definitely in some of the niche subsegments of automotive. I mean, that's so broader, the overall automotive industry isn't doing spectacularly well, this year, right? So that's probably an understatement. But the AM part of the automotive industry is doing well.
And this might be the chance, being a little bit more, ahead of the rest, the avant-garde of technology. And you brought one of your parts, which have been produced on Renishaw equipment. Tell us about it. What is it? What is it that you brought us?
So what I have here is this is a tooling application. So you can manufacture direct parts which actually end up on the cars, or you can manufacture stuff for tooling, jigs, fixtures, which are an indirect way of accessing the automotive market. Okay. So this is actually an example of a tooling component. It's made with a special steel that we at Oerlikon manufacture. And the composition of the steel makes it fairly difficult to print on many of the printers that we see on the market today.
How did you do these parts before you had additive manufacturing technologies at hand?
With difficulty. I mean, if you look at the sort of the plastic model, this shows what it looks like inside. And here you can see cooling channels.
Conformally, it's impossible to do it conventional. It's completely impossible. So there are really new opportunities with additive.
Okay.
And so the enabler, there's two enablers. One is the AM technology itself, and the second is the printers themselves are starting to become more sophisticated. So we have heated chambers and so on, which allow us to print these compositions which are difficult to do in many of the other printers.
So I guess you have a long tradition and experience with your old-time suppliers. With traditional technologies. With Renishaw, you have one of the most advanced suppliers in additive manufacturing technology. How do you judge the difference between normal suppliers and future oriented suppliers like Renishaw? Is it a different story? Is it a different kind of cooperation?
I'd say at the moment, there's a huge amount of innovation in this industry, and all of the suppliers are doing their best to accelerate past one another. So it's a constant dance between the materials, the process, the printers, and the suppliers themselves are constantly jockeying for position. So absolutely, we value our partnership with Renishaw, and we enjoy using their printers. But I'll say that all the machine manufacturers have shown quite a high level of sophistication in how they innovate.
Sounds great, doesn't it?
It's a very close liaison, between materials and between systems at the end of the day. And there comes the partnership between Oerlikon and Renishaw in the picture, that only together we can push innovation forward. Our systems they're not as advanced if we don't have the right materials, and the right materials cannot be processed if the systems are not advanced. So we're really absolutely in the same boat, even rowing in the same direction.
Good. So coming towards the end of our little show, I would like to ask again, what do you expect from this Formnext? It is everybody says it is the best Formnext ever. So what do you expect for the coming 3 days? Can it be even better?
I mean, what we can see is at the show, you know, the mix of visitors is different. We see more production people, and I think along the line that we are more consistent now with our technologies, and we are more consistent in manufacturing those parts. That's the right time to meet up, and we are really now just before the step to make it into production. And therefore, I believe this, what's special about this Formnext, that we talk really about the shop floor, about manufacturing, and not exclusively about the prototyping. And that's the big game changer, I would say, for the whole industry.
You share this idea?
Absolutely. It's becoming more and more, productionized and accepted. You know, we see that in the change in the demographic. That's how we started off, right? We were talking about, well, this is a boring show. I mean, we've got serious decision makers here now. And I see, what I see happening here at the show is it's not being used just to announce big deals. There's some serious decisions happening in the private meeting rooms. So this is the area where everyone comes together to meet each other, network, and really help move the industry forward. So it's a great time to be here.
That sounds great, and we can only recommend people who haven't come to Frankfurt so far until now. They should come.
They should
come
Still
to
time.
really join this family meeting here. I think it's a great time that we're all having here. Gentlemen, thank you very much. We will now enjoy our beers here at the Renishaw Bar. Thank you for having us, and thank you for watching, and we'll be back here in the morning tomorrow. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Cheers.
Cheers.